Limited today were Jair, Kenny Clark, Edgerrin Cooper, Jonathan Ford, Elton Jenkins, Tucker Kraft, Jordan Morgan, Carrington Valentine, Christian Watson, and did not participate were Musgrave and Wyatt.
Did something happen to Luke after practicing yesterday?
Well, it didn't happen at practice. He's been dealing with something and fighting through, so he's going to be down for some time. Yeah, more than likely.
Is this the same injury that he's had? That's
yeah, which speaks to his toughness and competitiveness, that the fact that he even suited up, this last game is pretty impressive. I don't think we understood how serious it was, and so he's going to be down for a minute.
You're picking up a tight end. Do you know anything about him? Does the Atlanta's scheme have any carryover to what you're doing here that maybe he can kind of?
We obviously evaluated him coming out of Georgia. He's a bigger Y body, and so I heard he's a great guy. So we're excited to get him here.
Is your understanding you might get Musgrave back this year at some point?
Hopefully, that's the hope.
Matt, yesterday you mentioned that 50-yard run Murray had on that zone read against San Francisco. What makes that play so hard to defend? Like, what are the keys to defending a zone read quarterback?
Well, there's a lot that goes into it in terms of who's got the dive, who's got the quarterback. Certainly, it's not like they're just majoring in zone read. When it gets sprinkled in, you better have a plan for it, and then you got to get all 11 on the same page. And anytime you're defending that, especially with a guy that can run, it's a problem.
Matt, last week you went up against your brother. What's your advice for Bo going up against his brother this week?
Kick his ass. If Max Melton is anything like Bo Melton, which I think he is, just evaluating him in the draft process, I know he's going to be the ultimate competitor. So, I was kind of teasing Bo about, just big brother's got to whoop up on little brother, so you got to make it happen.
He sounded much more cordial yesterday to me and Les.
Who was?
Bo.
Is he not cordial to you guys?
No, I mean, talking about his brother. There seemed to be no ass kicking, no revenge, or no, trash talking. Is that not the Bo that you know?
I just know the type of competitor Bo is, so I don't think, no matter who's in front of him, I think he's going to give him everything he's got. And there were so many great clips this last week on tape, just how he plays the game. He plays the game the way it's meant to be played. And, here's a guy that's come in, nothing was given to him, was on the practice squad, and has had to fight and claw for everything he's gotten. And so I think it's just by his action. And he does everything the right way, and he goes out and competes. And I just love the tenacity that he plays the game with. And every time that he goes out on the field, you're going to get his best effort.
Matt, where do you think Ben Sims is at now? You felt pretty good about him during training camp. How ready is he for a bigger role if you're going to need him to do that?
Yeah, I thought last week he handled himself the way we would expect him to, and I think he's done a nice job. And I think he and Luke are different players, but I think Ben does a good job in his role.
He made a bunch of big plays in the passing game during training camp, so he's more than just kind of that stereotypical big guy, isn't he?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think, matter of fact, 2 days ago, or yesterday at practice, he had a nice play. So, I think he's a versatile guy that can give us whatever we need.
Matt, we were talking to X yesterday, and he was a 4.63 40 guy coming out. I know there's a difference between football speed and 40-yard dash speed, but what is it that allows him to cover as much ground as he does as a safety? Because it's not just speed.
Yeah, it's his instincts and his knowing what to do and knowing the looks that he's getting and being able to anticipate what's coming his way. I think that we've said this many times, like the guys that have those instincts and are able to anticipate, I mean, a lot of it's done throughout the week of preparation, studying the looks and being able to get a jump on what may be coming your way, studying the opposing quarterbacks and how they are able to use their eyes to try to manipulate defenses, or some guys don't do a very good job of that. They're just going to eye lock, and you can get a beat on somebody real fast. So, you know, he certainly doesn't play like a 4-6 guy in my mind. He plays the game extremely fast, and you guys can see it. He can cover red line to red line. So we're fortunate to have a guy of that caliber.
Matt, last week you guys were very familiar with the Rams. Obviously, you played them 5 years in a row. This week is a little bit different. How much more difficult is it going up against a fairly uncommon opponent?
Yeah, I think it's extremely difficult, but I think it's that way for both sides. So, you know, in this league, you see a lot of crossover tape throughout the course of the year, and they got a very good football team, and they play the game the right way. You can see it in every phase. They are going to compete, and you're going to get their best shot every time you go out on the field. So our guys got to be prepared for that. This is a team that has started fast, and so, you know, we got to play our best game, our most complete game this weekend.
They've had a couple of halves where they've played really good defense. What have you seen there? You know, I think at second half against Detroit, they played really well. San Francisco, they played pretty well.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's a little unconventional in terms of you don't see this style every week. You know, with the 3 safeties back there, I think Budda Baker is one of the best in the business. I mean, he is an eraser, and I think a lot of it's by design. They're able to put him in the middle, and you don't know where he's going to come down. And the thing that they do that's so good is everything complements the looks. So they can play 2 deep out of it, quarters, 3 deep, man. It doesn't matter. They got pressures off of it, so it all looks the same, but it's different to the offense.